Welcome to the demonstration of the Failovercluster project. So I'm just going to do a quick and brief overview of the setup of our 5 VMs here. So this is the domain controller, and essentially the purpose of this VM is just to be a domain controller. It has a static IP, one NIC, and just connects all of the other VMs. So for our file system server, it has two NICs. One is for the domain, and then one is for the iSCSI. Its purpose essentially is to be like a shared storage. So if we go to disks, it has two disks. One is C drive, and then the other one is, as you can see, a SAS. It's split into two virtual disks that are used for the cluster. And if we go over here, we have the Hyper-V1, which is part of the failover cluster, which so it has three NICs. One is for cluster traffic, one is for the domain, and one is for iSCSI. And then if we go over to V2, it's a very similar setup here. So if we go back to this one, Hyper-V Server 1 has Hyper-V installed, and if we open that up here, so this is our Windows 10 VM, and that's just our VM that is on the cluster. So since it's on the cluster, it's shared between VM1 and VM2. There it is present on both. And then it also has both have the Failovercluster Manager installed on them. This is our Failovercluster, our disks in them. So there's two disks. One is the shared volume, and the second disk is the quorum, and they're both 60 gig. Now, if we go over to V2, we can see, okay, it didn't find it on that one, but it should have found it on that one. If we go to server Hyper-V and log in, this is only part of the domain. I should name that domain, but that's linked to the domain. And the purpose of this one is to have Hyper-V, which it does. And it is supposed to run a copy of the domain controller. However, I could not get a replica to function. I tried a lot of different configurations and methods, but it just didn't work out for some reason. It wouldn't really resolve, so I couldn't end up doing that, unfortunately. Yeah, so the replication feature within Hyper-V, I just couldn't get to work. I did, however, if I go over to V1, use the Starwind VTV converter in order to convert the VMware domain controller, this VM, into a Hyper-V VM. So at least that was functional. And then other than that, that's pretty much the project, because unfortunately I couldn't get the replica portion of the assignment to work. But other than that, everything is good. Oh, one last thing, of course, I have to show the wallpaper. I'm pretty proud of this one. I literally made it while I was creating VMs, and ironically, this is all done locally because I had problems with vSphere. But at one point, this was definitely vSphere. So hopefully those problems are resolved soon, though. But anyway, that is the project, and thank you for watching.